And then there's tools away. Like no breakdown, 2 8 done, it's going to be amazing. But for whatever reason, we're procrastinating. It is out there, right? So then there are people like, benefit from it tomorrow, but because you procrastinated, then get out there, put yourself out there, now people won't know how to Sorry, so what do you do when you will go through, I don't want to get everybody where they are on the scale, that's really for you. But let's go through some of the techniques. Trends, let's try to find some trends on how you procrastinate and what they do when you procrastinate. Do you have a way of working to procrastinate?
Yeah, I used to sit in the couch.
You do?
I used to sit in the couch. Like here in the office, I used to sit in the couch. And I know that I was things that I was like sitting down.
Yes. What do you do? Watch TV. And again, just to reframe this one more time. These are things you do when you're avoiding doing something productive. If it's in your leisure time and you carve it out, that's perfectly fine. What do you do? Yes. Yes, what do you do? You pay. Do we know what I'm just going to go around this way. Anybody on this side want to share what they do when they procrastinate?
It's like, okay, I've read, for example, if I do, for instance, I have to feel very quiet. And if I have like a task that requires calculation and stuff like that, I spend a lot of time on those. I procrastinate on my writing process.
Gotcha.
Because I know I need to do it.
Gotcha. So that's your trigger. Yeah, you got certain
One hour.
Long papers or like long procedures. That's what I do.
Let's go around. Everybody, you know what shit is a nap. Again, if you need a break, a nap can be restorative. You're using it to avoid procrastination. Can I share one of my things? I complain. But sometimes, and I have to work on it. I used to complain that making the thing into something else bigger than what it needed to be if I was procrastinating. Online shopping. Online something related to that clean, or household chore, something to make you feel like productive. Okay, what else? What else are the distractions? Relaxing. Anything else? Did we say social media?
Social life,
Huh?
like to go out on social life.
Socialize. Anything else? Play games. I'm sorry, I'm not looking for anything else? Like, do you guys have anything that distracts you or is a trigger? Okay. Okay, so then let's go. The next one. What types of tasks do you typically procrastinate doing? So you mentioned writing. If you have a writing assignment. Yes.
Chemistry.
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 Oh, yeah, right?
But I didn't do it with
The reason why I have a long day is
You need to get a question. Yes. Huh? Everything. I'm not going to put everything in because we got to be Anything else? Yeah. Other people. Do you procrastinate? That's one of your tricks. That's one of the things you do to procrastinate.
She said like how many
Helping
people
other
solve our
people
problems.
problems. So that's one of the things. What other things do you find yourself procrastinating against? Huh? Cooking meals, yes. Getting out of bed. Anybody want to share another thing they procrastinate doing?
Cleaning.
Huh?
Cleaning.
Cleaning. If everybody else has more they want to share, we can add it, but let's tackle this. So let's try to put, I want to use this time now to kind of build the threads of how this is all connected. So literally, everything ties to your goals. So, for example, if you want a decent grade in chemistry for the semester, or you want a better overall better GPA, being good in chemistry is a part of it, right? So you have to have the tie to your big goals to prioritize it, right? If it's not a priority, you can drop it, right? Sometimes you have to, yeah, I'm just saying. No, I'll give you an example. There's classes that you're taking sometimes that you're doing terrible in, right? And maybe they're not a part of your major, maybe you dabbled in it and you just want to try it out, or go to whatever it is. Sometimes you can prioritize things. You can say, is this benefiting me? I'm procrastinating doing it, I'm dreading it. Figure out what your priorities are, and that ties in again with your goals. So that's one big theme that I want to hammer home, is how does this go with you? How do these things that you're procrastinating on tie into a goal? And if they don't tie into a goal, how do you reprioritize it or figure out where it fits in? So let's use follow-up with those for an example. So let's say one of your goals for the year is that you want to have a better credit score. And you find yourself procrastinating on following up on your goals. Maybe you had poor credit the year before, and now you want to work on it, right? So if you are not following up on it, maybe you're dreading it because last year your financial situation didn't look so good, or whatever it is, or maybe you just hate the physical task of paying the bills and seeing the money come out of your account, whatever it is. But if you have, I don't want to see money come out of your account. But if you have a financial goal, whatever it is, if it's to save money, to lower your interest rates on your cars, to not have late fees, or to improve your credit, having that goal will help you to stop procrastinating on it because you identified it as an area that you is important to you. Washing dishes. We're going to put washing dishes and cleaning together. So if you're, like one of my goals this year was to have a cozy and welcoming home, right? So if somebody, I'll tell you a funny story. My husband's brother was in the Navy, and he surprised us at 12 o'clock in the morning. This was like 2 years ago. And he had some of his Navy friends come to the door and say, hey, is Penny home? And we were like, well, we're from New York, so we were right now. He was home. Anyway, the whole point is that they came and the house was a mess, and I was so embarrassed. So one of my goals, I just finished a big project, it was like just a mess. So one of my goals was to always have my house with guests ready to host, right? So now that that's a goal, I try to figure out some strategies of how to have a guest ready home. So again, Marie commented with the lady from Netflix changed my life. And now I have a know, okay, once a week I'm gonna take care of these big things in the house, so that day-to-day tidying is not such a big chore. It's not like such a big deal. So it takes me 5 minutes to wash my dishes. It takes me 2 minutes to, it's not 2 minutes, 15 minutes to clean up. So these are things you're struggling with. Figure out your whys. Like, do you not have an organizing system in place? Is the way your house looks so overwhelming that you are not tackling it? Whatever it is, it could be a million reasons, right? What I like about the Marie Kondo show is that the people on the show are not like orders. So it's not like a big psychological reason why the house is a mess. It's just day-to-day, little organizing things, day-to-day living your life, and so your dishes pile up or your laundry piles up or whatever it is. So if you just figure out what system works for you, it will help you not procrastinate. If you have a goal of, I want my house to be clean, I want my house to be post ready or whatever it is, it will help motivate you to work towards it. Getting out of bed. This falls under the dreadful bucket I think we were talking about. Like, why are you not excited to get up in the morning? What is it about your day that's making it suck, right? Like, what is it about your day, your schedule, that's not motivating you, that you feel part of? So, somebody said classes. So, if you're taking classes that you dread, right? There's some classes you can't dread, but if it's in your major, right, or your minor, and you're taking classes that you dread, so you're thinking about it like, what the heck am I doing? Maybe that's not your major. Maybe that's not your minor. Maybe that's not what you should be doing. Yeah, evaluate it. So this is tied in a little bit to our goal planning class that we're talking about, like what your goals are. But a lot of reasons why people hate getting out of bed, they really don't like their job, they don't like their classes, they feel very overwhelmed. So if you identify that you really hate getting up because your day is going to suck, figure out what your day is going to suck, and you're not going to change it tomorrow, but figure out what your goals are for that year that will make next year look better, right? So if I'm using work as an example, but if you hate your job and you hate getting up out of bed because you hate going to work, you're not going to find a new job tomorrow, but what job are you interested in a year or a year or two, or whatever that you can work toward that will get you through the job you hate while you're working on the job you want. Same with classes. Same with, if it's a family event, it could be anything. If it's a family event that you dread, you don't want to get out of bed because you dread going to the family event, something that you have to do. But you have to evaluate why you're dreading. Cooking meals. So cooking meals goes towards healthy goals, can tie to healthy goals, can tie to saving money. What are some reasons why people procrastinate cooking meals? They could be tired, right? You've had a long day. Even if like sometimes I procrastinate cooking meals. My husband does most of it, but when it's my turn, I procrastinate on it. And some of the reasons why I procrastinate is because I feel like I'm not comfortable in the kitchen. I don't know recipes. I'm not as good a cook as he is. Or I don't want to, like I'm afraid that it's gonna suck. Like I made meals and then like after I finish cooking the meal, we don't eat it because it's bad. So I'm afraid that's gonna happen. Like no, so you dread these things. So how do you become more prepared? So I started meal planning. I started dividing the time so he felt less like he had to cook all the meals all the time and I like cook the easy stuff that I know how to do. So you just figure out what it is. If you want to cook your own meals because you want to save money, that's a huge motivator, right? So maybe you order your groceries online or try to go to subscription services. Pinterest and get inspiration. That's a bigger thing. So you have to figure out what is it about your schedule, your goals, and what you want to accomplish, and then work backwards from it, right? Because if you find yourself, no matter what the task is, you're putting it off, that's a more severe case of procrastination. So someone who procrastinates on everything, I'm guessing you're on the like more extreme scale of this self-assessment. So you really need to do some work, right? When you have like some things you procrastinate, you kind of can make a strategy based on these specific things that are your triggers. But when you find yourself procrastinating on most important projects and things that you have in your life, you really need to do some work to reevaluate. I'm going to go ahead first and then on. Yes?
So what happens if it's still going well?
It was what?
And everything's working out?
You're the lucky bucket. You weren't here when we talked about
No, I
that.
was here.
Yeah. So you and me are the same.
But you think is everything going well and every time it's better?
Yes. You should still work on it.
So then it's
Because I'm going to tell you why. There's going to be that one time, Murphy's Law, where it's going to suck. And it's not going to turn out. I don't care how good you are, how confident you are, you're going to drop the ball eventually. That's why I'm in the lucky bucket. I've been in the lucky bucket since high school. But I had like a project that I had to work on, and I dropped the ball, and it knocked me out, and I was like, I'll never do that again, right? So now I have to work on what my triggers are when I'm procrastinating. Because there will be one or two times, and there will be important times. I'm telling you while you're young, you gotta check it. You gotta check it. It can go okay, but you're gonna have one or two times where it's not gonna work out. Trust me. Just work on it, be self-aware. Yes.
so I'm just to be very self-aware of the kind of things that we tasks for myself.
I can't hear you.
I'm very self-aware of the kind of things for me to the task for like an essay or
Right.
when you get to school that I haven't done for a minute.
Uh-huh.
I really got time. So like I just know the kind of check and everything, so I just leave it for that time.
That's not really procrastinating, is it?
No, I'll procrastinate. Like even if, for example, an essay that's due at 11:59 and basically like 2 hours to complete it,
Right.
I'll do it for an hour.
Do you feel like you can put in good work? Okay.
But I'll procrastinate every single day.
How do you feel while you're procrastinating? You're fine.
That's
So
just like,
then
that's
that's-
why I'm saying is I need to change it, even though it's not actually fine.
I do think you need to work on giving you, so what I did was I worked on giving myself more, because I was a down to the wire person a lot too. And so how I modified my behavior is, instead of being down to the minute and the hour, I kind of just try to do it daily. Like if you just modify it a little bit, it reduces the risk that you won't make it, because there will be a time when you won't make it.
I mean, something that's it.
Yeah. I mean, that's just my opinion. You don't have to follow it. But how you guys are in school, if I was to tell my 18-year-old self, I would tell my 18-year-old self or 20-year-old self, just give yourself an extra day. It's just not worth it to bring it down to the hour. Yes.
I effectively had to worry about
You think?
it. No, I
Okay, we'll talk some more after class. But I used to have that, and a lot of people in the research that I did for that lucky bucket think, oh, it's a part of my creative process. Yeah, I work better under pressure. If I don't, it will suck. That kind of thing. You can give me, what I try to do sometimes too is I try to give myself a deadline or at least a draft to share with someone. Like if it's a big presentation or a paper or something like that, to edit it. So you still kind of give yourself that sense of urgency, because some people do work better under the drill. procrastination. There's procrastination where it's like you can do some self-help and figure out what the triggers are and things like that. But then there's like severe procrastination where you need to figure out this clinical issue or something like that. So that I can't get into. No, I don't think so. I think everybody has their way of dealing with projects and, overwhelm and things like that. No, not necessarily. I'm not saying this helps you. I'm just saying that everybody has different ways that they tackle things. And there are people who fall in that lucky category where they're actually rewarded. Yeah. The lucky bucket is, you weren't here when we read it. The lucky bucket is for the people who believe that they do their best work when their back is against the wall. And then they actually do their best work when their back is against the wall, so they're actually rewarded for procrastination. So there's no reason to change. So him and I are that. All right? So I modified my behavior for the lucky bucket by just giving myself more, just making my deadlines earlier than what they really need to be. So I give myself a deadline of, I'll do this, yes, it's due Friday, but I'll do it on Thursday, just to give myself a sense of urgency, and so I don't get caught up when the work war creeps in.
I try to push
It doesn't work.
before I get to it. I do it because it's back.
You definitely want to get yourself some questions. So, any other questions before we move on? So we're going to go through just two more things. I hope this is helpful for you guys. Thank you. And this is just something that I tack onto every presentation, just because I like to impart things that good advice. Yes. Yes, of course. Yeah. Go to the next slide, and I'll wrap this up so you guys can run. So, how to look prepared even when you procrastinate. So the lucky people know how to look like they didn't procrastinate. I finished this presentation yesterday. So, there are 5 ways to look prepared even when you procrastinate. When you're in a meeting, always have a notebook. Right? It makes you look more prepared and more alert and like you care what people are saying. Let me just get through this real quick and then I'll give you a question. Yes. Always have a notebook. If you're in a meeting, do not walk in a meeting without a notebook. Consider design. Can you go to the next slide real quick and then you can just go out? So look at the difference between this slide and the slide before that slide. Right? It looks different. I look more prepared because I changed the font. And I made it look more designed. Right? So if I had procrastinated and showed up with a deck that had just time to Roman, you guys would be like, yeah, she just threw that together. But if you have some design elements to it, it looks like you care and you consider your audience. Prepare questions, always come prepared with questions. Visualize the outcome of you procrastinating. So if you know that you're going to procrastinate and it's going to turn out terrible, just try to visualize that, and that might be a motivation to do better next time. And be on time, right? So let's say you procrastinate a presentation, you procrastinate something where you have to present something, or a class where you didn't have any questions prepared, but you were late, right? That has a bigger impact than if you showed up on time and showed up. So what they say, half the battle is showing up. Sometimes you just have to show up. So that is my presentation. I hope you guys, we had a lot of questions throughout, so we're not going to do a Q&A, but thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Yes? Consider design. So when you have something, let's say you procrastinated and you're doing something last minute, minute, and you just put together any old thing, right? So the whole presentation is just time to run, and it looks sloppy, right? If you take some time to think about the design, it makes you look a lot more prepared and thought out. Exactly.
You could write it.
Yes. You guys have any great audience?